Welcome to Mwalimu Digital. This is a show where we talk about matters to do with education, technology, and innovation. And as we have done in the past, we will take you through a guidance tour where we discuss matters to do with the Presidential Working Party, the matters to do with the KCPE, KCSE, matters to do with school holidays, all current issues that are happening now as we talk, since we are almost tending towards the December holidays. And we would like to ask ourselves how do we manage the situation of the students are at home? Some of them are doing their terminal exams, they are clearing the courses, they are ready for promotion from one level to the next. And we want to understand what we do with them for the next 2 months, so that they will be with us at home. And to help me discuss this, we have a guest, Madam Wangari Njuru. Habari yako?
Nzuri sana.
Welcome to the show again.
Asante.
So, Madam Wangari, as we have mentioned, you are very much aware that we are almost getting the holiday mood.
Yes.
The schools have closed, except for the candid class. The primary school have just cleared the exam, both the grade 6 and the standard 8.
Yes.
And we will be having these children for the next 2 months. So, first things first, maybe you could start with the exam. The exam. What do you have to say?
So far so good. We thank God that our class 8 and grade 6, yes, they have cleared and they have done well. We have not had of many issues like we always do, fortunately, and we thank God for that. And we want to tell the Ministry of Education congratulations for preparing so well. So far so good, and we are happy that that one is done. Now we look forward to the Form 4s as they begin on Monday. And of course, before we do anything else, is to wish them well, and we pray that God helps them to really perform, according to the desires of their hearts, so that they can go to the next level as they wish.
We wish all the countries, class 2022 KCSE, the best wishes from Mwalimu Digital and team.
Yes.
Thank you. So then the other issue is now that the grade 6 and the class 8 have already done the exams.
Yes.
They are watching us. Maybe they want to find out what do they do. They have this pressure cooker experience where they were always on the books revising, and it's behind them. Yes. So what do you advise them to do now?
There are many things they can do, and definitely this also goes to the parents, because it's the parents to set the stage for them. What I would like to tell the young ones is that they take their time, they relax, because I'm sure it was tough, reading for the exams and doing the exams and all that. So they should just relax. For the parents, there are so many things they can engage their children with, starting from, there are so many camps over this holiday, by the way. It's only that we will not be able to mention most of them, but there are so many camps for young people. Okay, leave alone the class 8s who are going, mostly the boys are going to translate into manhood, the circumcision thing and all that. But for the rest, there are also camps for girls, there are camps for them mixed up. And I think if parents are willing and ready and they have the resources, then they can allow them to go for those camps, because those camps helps them now to prepare them for the next stage.
So this is now the time for them to socialize a little bit.
Oh yes,
and have a little bit of a celebration that they have done the course.
Yes. We understand the grade 6 are not going to transition into secondary, if what we saw yesterday is true. But again, it is also a milestone for them to get into the next level.
You can hold that on the issue of what happened today. We will be discussing when we get there.
Yes.
I think.
But not only the camps, by the way. Even at home, this is the time they will be learning about maybe using phones or getting into the internet and all those things. Families are going to be together because it's a Christmas holiday. So there are so many things they can engage into. Maybe if they have identified their talent, which they would want to pursue, this is the right time to also get into that. Maybe They can start now going to places where whatever their talent is ongoing. You know, if you like football, there are so many football clubs out there. They can get into that. If you're into golf, nowadays I can see the children have been allowed. Yes, if it is table tennis, there are so many associations or groups which are near our homes that are doing such things. So this is also not only camping, not only just being with the friends and family, not only just waiting for chapatis over Christmas. This is also a good time to check on their talent and see where they can start, because if a talent you begin on the talent as early as possible, the better for them. If they love singing, this is the time to join the choir, to join the groups in church. There are so many things they can engage into.
Thank you. And then I think it's also noteworthy to say that this could be the last year that we are having challenges with the COVID squeeze. So this could be the last class that went under that kind of cash problem. And I think it's a good thing to hope that then maybe when we come back to school next year, we will not have the same kind of
rush. Yes. And we thank God for that. It's been tough. It's been tough, especially on parents. You know, for the kids, it's only to wake up and go to school. But the parents, there was a lot of paying of school fees so close to each other, the dates and all that. But now, at least you can be able to pan out the three terms. You know, even now. You know, you don't have to have them breaking, coming home, going back to school. It was a lot of work. But now we thank God that we are able to go into the normal sessions where we'll be having them in school for 3 months. Maybe those ones, there are those who give midterms, which is only once maybe. So we are happy. We are back there.
Allow me to look at something. I would want you to comment on the fact that you have just mentioned that there were no issues in the last exam, which have just ended for the grade 6 at class 8. I saw a cartoon somewhere where a young student was opening a tap and they say there's no water running in the tap. That doesn't want to mean this issue of there were no leakages. So I think I would be glad to hear your comment. How do you explain? What do you think the mistake would have got it right this time round? That so far so good. Those 2 papers which have already been done, they have gone uneventively, and we also hope the same for the KCSE.
But you see, these discoveries are not a one-time thing. There's a way they can go to mark the exams and realize there was an issue somewhere. So and of course there were issues. I saw there are many students who missed the exam because of various challenges. But I think so far so good, yeah. But let's wait for the Form 4s, because that's where madness comes in. Madness in quotes, there's always a lot of issues with that, but so that's why I say it's so far so good. I think the ministry really is doing well so far, because even those challenges that I saw them talking about them, it wasn't because the ministry failed. Most of them was because there's drought somewhere. The parents moved, students were dislodged by COVID, so they went into other places, and maybe the right follow-ups were not done. You know, it's such a loss to the students, but we pray and hope that something will be done, especially for such cases. So we are happy so far so good.
Yes. So I would like to change our focus a little bit, and we look at the President Working Party on education reform. I think it was in the public domain. They released the interim report yesterday. Have you had a chance to interact with it?
I just saw that short brief that was circulating, but they said the real report will come out, I think, in 2023, February in 2023. But you can tell and you can see how happy the parents are, because this thing of taking young children to the secondary level was really scaring and stressing and all those things, because Transitions are not easy. They have never been easy. Whether you're transitioning from singlehoodness to marriage or whatever it is, they are never easy. And so even this one with education, it has not been easy. And you know, with change, it needs some time for people to understand where we are going. And I think that was the call from parents, that, you know what, we are not saying CBC is bad, but we need time to do these transitions. We need time.
To address the issue of, we did not appear like it is an anticlimax to an extent, because now look at it this way. We have been told, according to that statement, actually I'm looking at it here, and they're saying that there will be no KPSEA grade 6 results will not be used for placement in junior secondary. I understand that one to mean that the students, the primary school people who have just done grade 6 will remain in their primary schools. My fear is, my thinking is, maybe you would want to help me out on that, is that I tend to think when they're sitting that exam, they were actually prepared to move to the next level.
We know.
How do we handle that? Don't you think that on the side of the runner, you feel disappointed that he has to go back to the same primary school?
I understand. I understand that, but also their safety and their well-being comes first. And that responsibility is left to the ministry and their parents. And now here we have the parents who spoke to the working party, and they said, no. When you came to us about CBC and what we've seen the government doing, we saw the government telling the secondary schools to build extra classes. They gave out money to build extra classes, but nobody told us, or nobody gave money for us to build separate dormitories and facilities for these young ones. So that's what I was trying to tell you earlier before, that it is a transition. It will take some time, but it will get better, and we will get to where we are. And I am coming, when I'm talking about them still being domiciled in the primary schools, remember, this is the voice of the majority. This is the voice of the parents. But also now looking forward, you know, progressively, I went to Uganda for my A-levels. And in Uganda, in some schools, O-levels and A-levels are in the same, what do you call it? Are in this, yeah, they are in the same compound, you know, in the same compound. And so all we need to do is to learn from Uganda on how they were able to integrate the O-levels, which is now the junior primary. Is it the junior or the senior? The senior, yes, and junior secondary. So they only need to learn from Uganda, you know, on how they were able to integrate the two, how they are able to house, you know, in the same secondary school, where you have now the A-levels and the O-levels together. And sometimes the O-levels are very young. They are in their 13.
Maybe it is going to wander around.
Yes.
Do you anticipate that, okay, fine, they will remain the same primary school? Maybe are they going to have a change of uniform? Are they going to have a different administration, so that maybe we'll have, this is the assembly for the junior secondary students, and this is the assembly for the primary school, to avoid to have that feeling of psychological promotion, even if there is no physical promotion.
Yeah, so it is hard. It is hard for us because, as I have said, their well-being, you know, and well-being also includes the psychological, it also includes the psychological part that you're talking about, the mental, you know, the mental picture that they had, you know, that we're going to the secondary school, we are leaving you behind and all that. But again, what about their safety? What about their comfort? You know?
I am sure the parents that who may be thinking they are thinking, okay, they don't have a problem, they're not insisting. As you have said, put it, it's a voice of majority. The Kenyan parent has spoken. And I think that's as captured it. I'm only looking at it now at the implementation side.
Yeah.
And I'm asking roundly, and I'm saying as a long time experience in building communities. I'm trying to ask how do we manage that transition to one, create a clear dichotomy between an upper primary student and a senior? Do we give them different management?
Yes, it should be so, you know, and not as different as you want to put it. We are in the same school. Yes. So if we are in the same school, we should have the same assembly, we should have the same food, we should have, you know, all these things that makes up a day. you know, because a day has a program. So you will not have some singing the national loyalty down there and others sweeping, you know, across this other end. But what we are saying is the facilities needed to be different, because there is no way. Now tell me, how are you going to have a Form 1 and a Class 7 in the same compound and in the same dormitory? It wasn't making sense at all. So that is why I'm saying progressively we will decide if we want this to be domiciled in, because this can work for a few years, maybe 1 or 2, and then if we want to domicile that now in secondary school, we come up with the facilities, yes, slowly. And remember, the Form 1s, the KCPE, KCSE, they are what is it? We are facing it out. So after that, then we can decide, do we take them to the secondary school? But for now, we are not ready for that. For now, we are not well equipped to have that out.
There is also the other issue of the human resources. This primary school teacher who has been handling Class 8, maybe depending on the curriculum designs and the demand of the content that is now coming up in grade 7, that question has always been hanging there. What would you say? Do you think or do you feel they are competent to handle that content? Because I have interacted with the curriculum designs, and my take or my feel is like it is like the Form 1 content which has been brought down.
I know.
So how do we handle the human resources?
I understand so many high school teachers had been trained already on
grade 7 content.
Grade 7 content. Yes. Now, I do not know whether the ministry is going to bring these secondary teachers to be teaching in the primary school. I mean, this class that has not just physically transitioned to secondary school, or maybe they will train now the primary school teachers. I think they will come out clear on that, because I don't know which one would be easier. Either sending the secondary teachers whom they had trained to junior secondary, or training the primary school teachers to handle the junior primary
we will have this conversation for a long time, because if you look at the same, interim report, you look at this point number 4, point number 3, an extra classroom and laboratory will be built in every primary school. Now, the one laboratory carries the idea of science, practical science, which has not been there before. So the thing is, okay, fine, now we say the child remains in primary, build him a laboratory, then we also need a teacher who has that.
And in the same brief, they have promised to employ around 30,000 teachers. But my true instinct or thinking is, you see, these secondary schools are not very far away from the primary schools. In fact, most of them are in the same locality. So there's a possibility maybe these teachers who had been trained, because the ministry had already trained the secondary school teachers to handle the grade 7 curriculum. I think they will be going to teach there, or maybe, let's see. Let's not speculate.
Let's not preempt.
Yes.
Well. That is true. We will take a short break. When we come back, we'll look at other issues that are contained there. But we are glad that you are watching. Welcome back. We have been having this conversation on matters to do with education. We have looked at the interim report by the President Working Party. We have looked at the KPSEA, the exams which have just come to an end for grade 7, grade 6, and standard 8, and KCSE, which is coming next week. And my co-host, my guest, Founder Wangari Njuru, welcome back. So we left it at the point where we were looking at exactly how we are going to manage these new changes. And I think it is only fair and proper to say no speculation.
Yes. We leave it at that, and we allow for more directions and more information, because we are only preempting, we are only speculating.
I don't think there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
Yes.
Actually now implemented, especially in the new way.
And also make the parents understand, going forward. And we are happy that CBC remains.
Oh yes.
That's a plus, and you should clap to the Working Party for making this happen, because change is good, and the fact that CBC is a wholesome kind of education and learning experience, it is really amazing. So we are grateful that CBC remains, but we are also willing and happy and all in the transitions and the progress that is going to go on.
And now, having come that far, then we need to ask ourselves, okay, the school holidays are here. Within the next 1 or 2 weeks, the KCSE exam will be done, and we'll be on completely the holiday mood all the way up to January 29th or so. So in the meantime, what they do?
So we, like I mentioned it earlier, there are so many things that they can engage in. Of course, whatever they engage in, we hope it will be productive. We hope it will not just be TikTok for the next 2 months.
Maybe they should take that time to get introduced to a new technology. I hear of metaverse, I hear of this. Could it be this?
Tools, because they will help the parents to have alternatives.
Wait, let me see, how does it look? What is it?
So, I fear this thing because there is a way it brings the world into a reality that I do
scare the children,
it makes me to float in the world and all that, but it is a good tool for our young ones, especially for immersive learning. And I also understand it introduces us to the metaverse, and it is where we are headed technologically. So we would tell the parents, why not get such a gadget and make your children,
So you mean
wear them and have fun.
When you get engaged into this, you get transported to another universe?
World,
oh my goodness, and I like what I'm seeing. What is this?
What are you seeing?
I'm seeing another one.
Yes.
Some deep sea down there, some very beautiful fish down here. Oh my goodness. So I think these are kind of the technologies that the learners need to get exposed to during this holiday. I hear they call it the virtual reality handset. So the thing is, now that we're talking about CBC and the students might have all this time, it would be advisable for the parents to go out of the way.
Yeah, and it is our work actually to introduce the parents to such gadgets, and also the people who are dealing with this, because maybe our parents are not aware that there is such gadgets that they can get for their children. They only think about the phone, the TV and all that. So I think it is upon us to bring in as many people who have this alternative, supplementary kind of learning and way of learning.
Then we have to make an agreement that in our next episode you come and give it a complete blow-by-blow account of it.
And you bring the owner, because you will be able to explain better, to the parents, so that the parent can get engaged also, and also our children can have this, new technology that is now revolving around the world.
You can trust Mwalimu Digital for that.
Yes.
So next time we will be doing VR, virtual reality, and the gateway to the metaverse. Thank you very much.
Asante.
On that account, we will thank you very much for watching us, and we will always keep you updated and enlightened on matters to do with technology. And the place to be is Mwalimu Digital on Mwalimu TV. Keep watching.